The Minister of Finance on Thursday said President Bola Tinubu has asked his economic management team to prepare a 2 trillion naira stimulus plan to address concerns about food supplies and pricing and bolster key sectors. The package, which will be developed in collaboration with state governments and the private sector, will allocate 1 trillion naira to agriculture, food security and the energy sector, with 350 billion naira set for health and social welfare. Today on the program, attention is on food security as the 2 trillion naira is being anticipated. Our guest is Shittu Kabir Muhammed, National President of Cowpea Farmers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
All right. Now, for starters, how excited are you about the anticipated 2 trillion naira package for the economy as Nigerians currently grapple with economic difficulties?
For us, it's a welcoming development. We also congratulate them for the inauguration of the Economic Council. And this came at the right moment that Nigerians are looking. In fact, we, the farmers, we were waiting. We were looking that something like this should happen because Nigerians need to move forward economically and then even in the area of our manufacturing sector. If you look at a few days or months now, some of us that have processing companies like the flour mill which I operate, we see that to even the power is becoming a problem, and then raw material is becoming a problem. But with the injection of the fund, I think our banks now can be able to assist the manufacturers and be able to now start rejigging the economy.
Great. Now, the current administration already has a roadmap on food security. How do you see this addressing food insecurity on short term and long term?
For the food security, I think we have a Minister of Agric that both of them are agriculturists, and then I've interacted with the Minister of Agric, both of them, and they are really waiting for this moment because they believe that it's time for us to go into commercial agriculture. And with the injection of this 500 billion, I believe we start now empowering commercial farmers. We start now clearing, because the major problem of commercial agriculture is how do you clear the forest. And for the past 15 years, I've been on these programs, in various programs in NTA, to tell Nigerians that it's time for us to clear this forest that we have been keeping shallow. So with the injection of this money, from my interaction with the ministry, I believe they will clear more forest. We'll be able to get more farmers. We'll be able to commercialize our agricultural sector. The COVID has taught us a lesson where countries are not exporting the food to any country. So we'll use this opportunity. I believe that the Ministry of Agriculture should use this opportunity to open up Nigerian agricultural sector, empower the small-scale farmers, empower the peasant farmers, and then also have, so that we have A, B, C. You have the commercial, which you empower. You have the middlemen that you empower. You have the peasant farmers that you also empowered. And I believe if well utilized in the next cropping season, Nigerian would be better for it.
Okay, the 500 billion naira funding of the amount has been earmarked for agriculture and food security. What areas of agriculture should the committee be focusing on to give the much needed food security?
I think for us, first of all, we should look at our wheat, because that is where we spend billions of naira importing wheat. It is time now that because If you go to Europe, they tell you Nigeria has the best wheat. I've traversed that, so I've gone to Austria. They told us, when we want to import it, why are you importing from our country when your country has the best? And I've put a processing center, I've put a flour milling, and I've seen that my flour don't even spend 2 days because people rush it. So therefore, we must improve on that wheat value chain, improve on rice value chain, improve on some exportable crops like the sesame seed that we can export and then also earn dollar from. And then we should also go to our peasant farmer so that we increase our food production, like the yam, like the maize, like the sorghum. Like these are what we need in our daily. So these are areas that they should focus to be able to keep us feed Nigeria, and then be able to eat our own homegrown food, not to import food that are already rotting and then they take it back to our country. Okay. So all of us will also go back to our backyard and start gardening where you have vegetables at your backyard, so that we don't need to import tomato.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the subnationals. What is the place of state and local governments in boosting our food security, and are they doing enough? Do you think they are doing enough?
For us, we believe that because it's the state that has the land, the federal Minister of Agriculture can only support, but the state are the custodian of the land. They are the one that can give certificate for the land, and then they should be able to also find a way that these our peasant farmers and then the commercial agriculture that we want to promote, they are the one that has the mandate, because they are the one that issue land certificate. They should give them certificate that will enable the commercial farmers to access fund, and then also be able to put up in their budget, make their budget 50% into agriculture, because we are all agrarian society. Wherever you come out from, if either you come out from agricultural side or you come out from the coastal side where you have more of aquatic resources, so all this should be promoted. Like those states that are in the coastal state, we have stream, we have fish, we have that. You see foreigners come to our high sea, and then they took this advantage, get it, sell it to us here in Nigeria. Why can't we buy trawlers as a state on the way in the coastal area to our teeming youth to go over a high sea there, to be able to also exploit this opportunity, get fish, shrimps and co, and then they'll be able to process it within their trawler and bring it back to Nigeria to sell. And then we should also, if it's in the area of agriculture, we should be able to now form youth agricultural group. Even our NYSC, since we are not doing military services, we should be able to now go back that each state should put up this agricultural land where NYSC can be there. They train them on their agricultural sector. They train them on how to plant food and other things. And then you see that when they finish that orientation, they will be able to go back, even at their backyard. They will now know that, because food is the first thing that every country needs. Exactly. And now, even African, we should now use this opportunity with this type of quantum of money that we are going to spend to be able to attract world to Nigeria. How do you attract world to Nigeria? We are agrarian. We should be able that the people come to Nigeria to buy food, not for Nigerians to go outside to go and buy food. Good. And then we should be able to use this opportunity to increase our export, while you are, and then ban exportation of raw material until it's processed in Nigeria. Oh. That is the only way that we can grow our youth. We are talking of 220-something million. And out of this, you have 70% that are just youth. And then you must create, the only way to create opportunity for them is agriculture. Ban exportation of any raw material until it's processed in this country. And then use some part of this money to bring in the processing machines. And then remove duty and other things on processing machine, so that our youth can now start exploiting this opportunity to build their future.
Now, the federal government also announced that the package will be developed in collaboration with the private sector. In what areas do you see the private sector making much impact?
Definitely, we are capitalists, and profit is the heart of the private sector. I believe that if they see opportunity in it, that they will tap into it. And what are the opportunity? There must be an enabling environment. What are the enabling environment? They should be able to access fund easily, not by stressing or be able not. If they access fund easily, they will be able to tap into this opportunity. Agriculture is a big sector that we have abandoned. And then in attracting investors into agriculture, you must be able to make the finances very, very, very easy for them. If they can access funds easily, then I believe people will go into it. And then if you ban the exportation of raw material, and they know that when they process it, because the only way businessmen can come in is when they can process. And it's from that processing that they will be able to now export and make more money. You can see that in the last few months, Nigeria are now increasing in exportation of raw material, of our own food, like sesame seed, rubber and other things. So people will go into it if there's opportunity.
Now let's talk about prices of food items. Beans, for one, is one of the very expensive commodities, with a mood going for between 2,700 naira and 3,000 naira. As president of cowpea farmers, what factors do you think are responsible for the high cost?
The factor that are responsible for the high cost is that the demand is higher than the supply. And luckily, the World Trade Organization was here 4 months ago, and we are collaborating with the World Trade Organization in order to put up a demonstration farm and be able to grow, because there are states that believe they cannot grow beans, which we have found out now that those states can even grow better beans. So we are focusing on those states so that we can also attract farmers into that, so that we have enough. If you have enough supply, then the price will crash.
Right.
It is because you have just little people going to the beans farming, because beans is just categorized as a what you plant after you must have harvested your maize and go. Whoever care then will plant. So, but now we want to make it commercial, put up processing factories in collaboration with World Trade Organization, and be able to now attract investors and farmers to. And by next year, if this plan is well put in place, you will see that all these food prices will crash, both not only in beans, rice, wheat, and other things. I've seen that the program of Ministry of Agriculture on wheat is going to crash with next year. Definitely, I believe that.
A very big thank you to you, Mr. Shittu Muhammed, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.